Federal government injects 600 billion naira as stimulus response into agriculture sector. Confusion in downstream petroleum deregulation as NNPC pays 5.35 billion naira subsidy for June 2020. Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo opts to meet President Buhari over attacks on Nigerians. Lionel Messi, all great truth begin as blasphemies. We welcome you to the Ogtv News. I am described the late Chief Dende as someone who lived an exemplary life, whose teachings as a politician.
He was a prominent son of gallantry in the service to the community, but Allah knows best, and Allah has called him at this time. But he has left a wonderful legacy for us all here. And my comment to all of us is that just as his son has said, that we should all continue in that, with the legacy that he has left.
The governor said the late Dende, who was a pioneer member of Igomode Club, also rendered services to humanity during his lifetime, welcoming the state government delegation to the family house. Son of the deceased, that the deceased eldest son, Mr. Yinka Dende, thanked the state government for identifying with them, saying the family is highly honored with the visit. Ordered 250 new cases of the novel coronavirus as Lagos State announced the possible reopening of schools across the state. The new cases bring the country's total cases.
Produce anything electronics. So once we import all of these, whether we imported this fairly used one or we imported the new ones, it is going to end up as an electronic waste. Now, I guess, well, the kind of stuff, agreements we should have with many of these companies that we import from is to also have an agreement for them to export back the waste.
As the end of their useful lifespan, these second-hand electronic equipments find their way into unregulated disposal sites where they are routinely burnt, thereby releasing hazardous substance into the environment.
We have so many raw materials in Nigeria, and even the waste that we are talking about could also be turned to so many things. Fertilizer and turning it to, recycling it to produce electricity. So that's what one would have expected Nigeria to have adopted or to have, moved up to.
Respondents suggest final disposal practices such as landfill and incineration to be a form of program that will not only ensure proper reuse and refurbishment, but will also create more job opportunities.
Not everything will be punishment. That if you do this, we will arrest you. They can come up with a kind of an encouragement mechanism that, okay, if you have plastic, waste plastic, dump it here, we'll give you, if you dump so weight, we'll give you 1,000. If you drop this, so I think if government can do that, it will help us. There are so come up with that idea, it will employ a lot of people, and it will also save our health instead of burning the waste.
They argued that over-dependency of Nigeria on imported products is a major problem for the Nigerian economy. Hence, they need to support private investors to produce locally made products that will drive the economy. Ife Shuluade, Ogtv News.
And now to education. Education remains. In spite of this, however, the girl-child education has suffered several setbacks over the years due to socio-cultural and economic setbacks. In the special report, Moyoluwa Ajayi examines the consequences of neglecting girl-child education and the measures to be put in place to prioritize girl-child education in the society. Her report is presented in this package.
There is no gainsaying that education remains the starting point for development and progress of any society. But despite the provisions of Universal Basic Education Act and the Child Rights Act aimed at ensuring the right of education for all children, the girl child continues to lag behind in acquisition of education.
The girl child education is very important because it gives them expression, it gives them power and awareness over their lives. This ultimately leads to equitable development and enhanced economic development.
According to UNICEF, girls constitute the majority of the nearly 120 million children who are out of school. Girls, more often than boys, are consistently denied opportunities to go to school for an array of reasons.
So many persons are they've given several excuses or reasons why the girl child should not go to school. And one of their, I think a major reason is that the girl child is going to get married, and at the end of the day, she's going to end up in her husband's kitchen. I heard of a particular guy that got married to a lady, and do you know what he did? He handed the wife's certificate in the kitchen. You know, that's, to me, that's a very wrong way of thinking.
Because of cultural and religious beliefs. It's so sad to know that some cultures and religion downplays the importance of the girl child education.
Respondents emphasize on the effect of girl child education neglection and the measures to be put in place to prioritize girl child education in the society.
The girl is the one that would eventually, and it is out of the abundance of what she has to offer that she can give to her children.
I would have no doubt to say
programs to be put in place to assist parents in training their daughters.
They also called on government to create policies and programs that could easily fortify the girl child and empower her to make contributions good enough to change societal attitudes towards girl child education.
The National Business and Technical Education Board, NABTEB, said it will conduct its NBC-NTC examinations from September 21 to October 15. Registrar and Chief Executive of NABTEB, Professor Ifeoma Isugo Abanihe, made this known in a statement on Sunday. Isugo Abanihe added that the National Common Entrance Examination for JSS 3 students' admission to technical colleges had been brought forward from October 3 to September 5. She added that the deadline for registration of candidates for the NBC-NTC examinations had been extended to September 4 to accommodate requests from various states that had not been able to complete registration of the students due to exigencies arising from COVID-19 lockdown. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alhaji Muhammad Sabo Nonono, has revealed that the federal government has resolved to inject over 600 billion naira as stimulus response into the agriculture sector, targeting small-scale farmers to ensure food security and sustainability. The minister stated this while on a weekend tour of a fertilizer plant and a crucial meter. 600 billion naira stimulus responses, which targets farmers nationwide, will take off with an initial 2.4 million farmers in the first instance. He also noted that to avoid the abuse of government funds and good intentions, the support will be in kind in the form of inputs and not cash, as was the practice in the past. The minister added that the forceful closure of all international borders necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic has made it evident that Nigeria can conveniently and sustainably feed itself. Amidst confusion in the downstream petroleum industry concerning its deregulation, subsidy and premium motor spirit (PMS), also known as petrol, has once again resurfaced as the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation said it incurred 5.35 billion naira as under recovery in June 2020. Under recovery, also known as subsidy, occurs when the pump price of petrol is lower than the actual cost price of the commodity. In this case, the NNPC, through its subsidiary, through its oil marketers, sell the product to motorists at a particular price. According to its monthly financial and operation reports for June 2020, the NNPC said it had recorded zero subsidy payments in April and May 2020, after it had recorded under recovery of 43.31 billion naira, 20.68 billion naira, and 37.66 billion naira in January, February, and March 2020. A few weeks back, the Minister of Petroleum, Chief Timipre Silva, confirmed that in April 2020, the fuel subsidy was gone forever and that going forward, market forces will be responsible for determining the price of the commodity. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against President Muhammadu Buhari over failure to publish details of 800 billion naira recovered loot. In a statement issued on Sunday by SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadari, the group wants the federal government to disclose information and documents relating to the names of people from whom 800 billion naira in looted public funds have been recovered, specific dates of the recovery, and details of projects on which the money has been spent. The group recalled that during the Democracy Day on June 12, President Buhari revealed that his administration has recovered looted funds of more than 800 billion naira, which were being used for infrastructural projects. But in the suit filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja, SERAP sought for an order to leave to apply for judicial. The essence of human existence is to worship God at all times and serve humanity. Pastor David Adoye stated this in his message at the 40th birthday Thanksgiving of Mrs. Oluwatoyin Temitope Adenekan, wife of the Senior Special Assistant to Ogun State Governor on Development Partners Coordination, Mr. Bayo Adenekan, held at Metros Hall, Abeokuta. Matthew Shomi reports.
Described as a woman of great virtues, industrious and generous, and one who has affected many lives positively, the 40th birthday of Mrs. Oluwatoyin Temitope Adenekan, wife of the Senior Special Assistant to the Ogun State Governor on Development Partners Coordination, Mr. Bayo Adenekan, had government officials, friends, family members, and other dignitaries give thanks to God for her life. Pastor David Adeoye, in his sermon, said the best way to celebrate a birthday is to give praises to the giver of life who sees man through many situations of life. He encouraged Mrs. Adenekan, the daughter of Cardinal James Odunbaku, popularly called the Babetu of Lagos politics, to continue to serve God at any given opportunity.
Life and me to is the most valuable thing God can give to anybody.
Commissioner for Budget and Planning in the state, Honorable Laolu Olabinton, expressed happiness for witnessing the celebration of a woman described as a strong pillar of support for her husband.
I wish you all the best. I wish you many, many more years.
Other dignitaries present had these wishes for her at 40.
Toyin is a very special person, larger than life and very warm.
Very special to me because Toyin is my friend.
Idiaba Baptist Old Students and Celebrants, Cardinal James Odunbaku, offered her prayers.
She should become more responsible. Take care of his husband, the husband will take care of her. And above all, they should take care of me.
This is how husband of the celebrants, Mr. Bayo Adenekan, described his wife at 40.
She's the one that have made me what I am today because of her support, that family support. Every man needs it. Every successful man needs that family support.
The celebrants gave thanks to God for the opportunity to witness 40 years of age alive.
And when you have good people around you.
Was thereafter joined by husband, parents, friends, and associates in cutting the birthday cake. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
On the 30th of August 1957, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was appointed the first. Special report takes a look at the life and times of the late nationalist and politician. A report.
Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was the first Prime Minister of Nigeria before our independence in 1960, serving from 1957 to 1966. His first cabinet included ministers from all parties. After the pre-independence elections of 1959, he again became Prime Minister in a coalition government of the NPC and National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon.
I am very pleased to be with you in the week which we are to spend among you. I have no doubt that the American people will receive us with all the kindness that they all receive strangers. This is just a brief reply to your very warm address of welcome. Thank you.
Tafawa Balewa, a settlement between factions in the Congo Civil War. He led his government in a vocal protest of the massacre in South Africa.
We are properly grateful for this recognition and for the generous and friendly gesture made by so many members who sent very distinguished delegations to join us in celebrating our accession to independence.
Tafawa Balewa was one of the African leaders who encouraged the formation of the Organization of Africa.
The Ghanaian government has reacted to claims made by the federal government over the maltreatment of Nigerians in the country, among other issues raised. In a statement issued on Sunday, Ghana's Minister of Information, Kojo Okpong said President Nana Akufo-Addo will engage with President Muhammadu Buhari to resolve the matters amicably, while reiterating the country's commitment to maintaining what could be described as warm relations between the two countries. Nkrumah said the move is necessary to guard against straining their diplomatic ties. This comes 2 days after Nigeria's Information Minister, Lai Mohammed, said the federal government will no longer tolerate further maltreatment of its citizens in Ghana. And now to Belarus, where tens of thousands again took to the streets, facing off against riot police to protest against President Alexander Lukashenko. A huge police presence has cordoned off areas such as Independence Square in the capital, Minsk, and the Interior Ministry reports 125 arrests so far. Protesters are chanting disgrace and leave in standoffs with police. Belarus has been gripped by mass protests since the August 9 election, widely believed to have been rigged, of stepping down and denies electoral fraud. And on to sports. Lewis Hamilton, starting from pole, led every lap of the Belgian Grand Prix on Sunday as he cruised to his fourth victory in the last 5 races this season. Hamilton's Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas was second with 8,448 seconds, with 8.448 seconds behind, and Max Verstappen of Red Bull was third. The top 3 were in the same order throughout the race. The reigning champion, Hamilton, said it wasn't the easiest of races. Public prosecutor this week, as part of the